if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Bonsa Monablitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
It's like just barely things are opening up, which is awesome. I went to Destin, Florida last week for 5 days.
I saw that. How was it?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was especially when you're 2 months of house arrest, basically.
Right.
A beach is just the best thing you've ever seen in your life. You know?
Where did you? What beach?
I don't know what the beach is called. It's Destin, Florida, the beach.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
How were the people on the beach? How were people receiving it? Were people fucking? What was the scene on the beach?
Just chilling, man. I was everyone had their little umbrella thing with a couple, it was $40, and a couple chairs and stuff, and it was
a couple cocktails and off you go.
There was no weirdness to it. There was no like walking into Lowe's or Home Depot and everyone's got masks on. There was none of that Twilight Zone stuff. It was just normal. I've been to Destin a lot of times and it's always a great time. So it was pretty cool.
Are you already down in Florida now? And it was a short drive?
No, I'm back north of Cincinnati now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those 5 days were incredibly awesome.
And there was no people, shaming the people that weren't wearing masks because
no, none of that.
I just have my mask down. There's
Dude,
that specifically go out to yell at people that aren't wearing masks.
Yeah, I want to know.
Stop.
I want to know the percentage of people that are chomping at the bit to tell on someone or call the hotline or snitch or whatever. It's those are those people in class that would always raise their hand first to be called upon. Whenever the teacher.
Johnny's in the bathroom smoking. Johnny's smoking.
Yeah,
Homework.
I can't stand that. It's those kids were always the worst. Everybody hated those kids, and it's those people become adults, and
they don't
when those people become adults.
That's not good.
There's the new movie. When you're a little shit in school and you become a fucking adult.
Yeah, right.
Mike Shue, how's the sound?
I had to bug out. I don't know what's going on with my booth, so I'm back on the phone again. You guys hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the same level as everybody.
There we go.
Josh, you sound amazing. I wish I could use my mic, but I don't know what's going on. You sound awesome, though.
Look at you. You've got, it's broadcast quality. Chris, we're coming to you from earbuds, but Josh is broadcast quality.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to overpower everybody, so I'm going to go back to earbuds.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, you sound good.
Do I?
Hey, Chris, thanks for coming back on. Last time you were on, everybody in the goddamn world paid attention to what you were saying and what Phil was saying and completely took everybody's words and mixed them up for clickbait, but it got us all some attention. So thanks.
Yeah, it was so funny. The Metal Sucks guy, he was Phil really got you with the pussy hat versus a Make America Great Again hat.
Right, apparently.
The dumbest comparison ever, but it's so funny. He was he had to say 10 times, Chris is really stupid. See how stupid he is? See that? See the example of how stupid Chris is? He's really just not a smart guy. He's not so bright. He's really dumb. It's dude,
did you listen?
Are you threatened by my intelligence? That's what it sounds like to me. So
everybody clickbaited the shit out of that. And then what was the other one when Phil was making comment about the comparison of Metallica and Nickelback songs and, all of a sudden, wait a second, Nickelback's better than Metallica. Nobody fucking said that.
Yeah, he wasn't even comparing songs. He was comparing the sonic quality of the Load albums to Nickelback albums and how similar they were.
People have no ability to sit there and actually listen and comprehend what they're listening to.
They just want to like, and fucking comment. You suck. Yeah. You suck.
That's what this country. That's the problem with this country. We're full of people who read the headline, but they don't click the link.
Right.
And they just go by what the headline says, and they don't care about the details. If the link validates their thoughts, then they'll just go with it, and they'll move on to the next thing on their feed, which is a goddamn shame. And
they really want to be part of it. They want to be part of the conversation. They want to be accepted.
Then maybe you should read the article. If you want to be part of it, read the article and intelligently contribute.
Right.
Yeah, it's so annoying
Since we're talking about this, let's move right into it. Because to me, this is the prime example of that, and it's friggin' hilarious. Now, listen, Chris, you and I can't differ more politically. We're polar opposites, but I think we're in agreement that this Tony Hawk soundtrack story is fucking hilarious.
Right?
I mean,
it's amazing.
I was like, really? They want to ban him because of his political beliefs? Well, I don't really believe in that. If people like the song, whatever. So I read into it.
Yeah.
You were never on the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, we didn't even like write the song or anything. Didn't even like make a demo of it. And I was playing that game at 17, 18, 19. Like, before we ever even conceived of the song Headstrong, or wrote it in our little jam room. It's just hilarious. So when I first saw it, I was like, all right, I'm going to say, if this guy is calling me a racist and all these things, I'm going to like, I basically say, I'm going to sue you if you don't take that down. And every time it works. So everyone's like, oh, you're such a pussy because you sue and yeah. But it's like, well, if I want someone to not say false things, I just say that and then end up deleting it or whatever. So it works.
Slander. There's laws about it.
Yeah. And that's like, I'm not going to go through with it if the person does what I say. And I probably wouldn't go through it either way, but it works. So I don't know, like, saying that stuff. So that guy ended up deleting it, within 24 hours. And then someone else started another one. So I went and pushed that. I was like, let's make a point out of this, even though I don't even have a song on the damn thing. Let's see how far this will go. And 4 or 5 days went by, and then finally some gaming website was like, told the story on that, and then AP jumped in, and it's just like the funniest thing in the world that it's like I can like say something on Twitter or be part of something, and it's like a news cycle for the week, and the next week, and I'm just gonna, why not keep it going. As long as I can. Why not?
in this case, Chris, we got to give credit where credit's due. You really didn't say anything here. It was those people that spread the petition. Like, who's this?
Guys.
Uh-oh. Well, yeah, lay the hammer down, Chris.
At home schooling. Quiet down,
man.
Yeah. Quiet down, kids.
Do your math. I'm on a podcast.
That's literally the deal.
It's like these people put this petition out there, and they've got over 15,000 signatures, which is hilarious. Yeah. Who's this John Gonzalez guy? One of the petitions I think was taken down, but one is still up there. And I tried to look. My first thought was, in my conspiracy theory brain, was John Gonzalez works for Activision, and Activision puts out the Tony Hawk game. And so I'm thinking John Gonzalez may be working PR for Activision and may wanted to start something up. You're a target on Twitter, so maybe he wanted to start something up, riling him on the video game community and stuff like that. But I searched Activision as best as I could. I couldn't find any John Gonzalez.
It's not even that guy. This is a different guy's name, and so he's saying he did it all. He made a tweet saying he like photoshopped a tweet from us saying like, oh, we have Headstrong on the new badass Tony Hawk game, and the dancing Gavin don't have anything on Tony Hawk, ha ha ha, and so then he just started disseminating that around, and then some other dude did the sexist, misogynist, whatever reason why to take him off, and then the next guy put up, oh, just because they suck or whatever. But that's some Photoshop tweet was like what set it all in motion is what he's saying, and he was very proud of himself. So he told all his friends, but
bored in the house in his mother's fucking basement, clearly.
Yeah, I don't think he has anything to do with Activision or anything. So but in the end of the day, it was good for Tony Hawk's game, I think.
Yeah, well, you guys and Tony Hawk's game. That's why I was searching into it. So let me just ask you this. You're on the record. Let me just ask you this. Chris Taylor Brown, are you in any way an investor or are affiliated with Activision Games or the Tony Hawk skater game?
What's the answer?
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
I'd love to.
The clickbait's going to come out totally opposite, and this shit'll go viral.
Yeah, it's just funny to see how many kids jump on the bandwagon trying to fit in, and it's so like they're just so desperate to fit in because their parents pay no attention to them.
Right.
So and not everybody's like this, but the people who and we've talked about this before, the people who move to major cities are angry that their parents did not see the amazing potential in them and just, ignored them. So they're going to go to New York City or Los Angeles and they're going to make something of themselves. And they all find each other and they're all, they can't afford to lose any friends. Doesn't matter who it is. So they have to, all say the same things. And it's like, they cannot, if it differs from what that echo chamber feels and that community, quote unquote, in that area of town, in that city, then you get kicked out of that little cult, the little echo chamber. And people are
I was going to say cult is a perfect word. Cult is good.
People are, I have so many friends in LA that are terrified to say the stuff I say because they think they won't get an engineering gig or, mixing gig or whatever. It's like they're genuinely afraid to say what they really feel. And so my whole thing in this whole,
if you do,
my whole thing in this whole Twitter thing was to say, look, maybe in 2016, you might have lost everything, but at this point, enough people are sick of all the stuff that Trump gets nailed for, even if they don't really like Trump. That at this point, it's okay to stand up and support the guy at least to the same level that other bands are bashing him daily. So I just want to show that that's okay, and you won't lose your fans. If anything, streaming numbers have gone up a bunch over the last 6 to 8 weeks. So not only will you not lose your fans or lose, you might lose some friends, but those aren't real friends, right? The same thing with fans. If they're intolerant of what one of the guys in the band feels and they're willing to disown the band over that, then screw them. Don't want them as a fan. People say, why do you want to lose fans? It's like, look, we're not. If I was losing listeners on Spotify or on Pandora, and I saw like, a good chunk of those people just go, I'm not listening to Trapt anymore, I wouldn't do it. I honestly wouldn't. But it doesn't. It's not the case. It's like this guy. What's the guy's name? Still forgot his name, but he just started following me on Twitter. This guy, Antonio Sabato Jr. So he was he was a Trump supporter, and he said that he came out in 2016, he got blackballed from the industry and was no longer be able to doing acting. He had to get a construction gig, doing construction. So I think he does movies here and there, but he said it was cost him a lot. So, but for me, it's not. So I don't, and then at the same time, I think it's so funny that there's other bands that feel the way I do, and they've said stuff on social media, and either they don't say it to the degree I do, or people don't care if they say it. But it's just so funny that people get so mad about my support for Trump and how I'm against identity politics. I am. I'm just so against it. I don't want to talk about it. We're all Americans, bleed red blood, and no one's going to change my mind on that. Let's talk about the economy. Let's talk about anything else. So those two things, my positions on those two things, invited a whole bunch of hate.
Well, that's how the whole Tony Hawk thing had to have come up, like Mike just said, because somebody wanted to put the Tony Hawk game in the forefront. Good PR company, you should do that. They're looking around, seeing the noise that you're making. Hey, let's marry the two and see if we can make noise. And now
I don't think that happened. You're giving him way too much credit. It was just some dude, some random guy who had nothing to do with Activision that put this all together. And it wouldn't have got 16,000 things if I didn't push the thing myself.
Right. With all due respect, Chris, I don't think Tony Hawk or Activision needs to prod you into a Twitter fight to get promotion for their game.
That's what I'm.
The Tony Hawk games. The Tony Hawk games are pretty huge on their own.
It's just
just the announcement that they were remastering them was big news in the gamer community. So I don't know. I agree. I don't think anybody at Activision.
Well, my whole thing is to go look at Trapt as being persecuted for, or the singer of Trapt is being persecuted for saying what he wants to say, and I want to bring attention to that. So it's like the cancel culture of the left is just not. You don't see that culture on the right. You just don't. So it's like people go, oh, they're the same, but it's like one side is just much more emotional than the other side,
and intolerant.
That's the thing. Even right wing guys who want small government and everything, they're afraid to talk because as soon as you say that, liberals just jump down your throat and want to disown you.
No, I disagree with that, Chris. There's plenty of right wing and conservative people out there expressing their views, and they're being attacked by liberal people, whether it's just some random person commenting or liberal pundits or whatever, but they're still doing that. The echo chamber thing works both ways. If you're in a room full of very liberal people and you start saying your views, yes, you're going to get attacked.
What about the opposite?
It is. It's totally
telling you, man.
No. I've been in that situation, Chris.
Have you been in LA?
People. You're in a room full of conservative people, and the exact same thing happens. And this person may have photoshopped a tweet and said it was from you, and created fake news, but that happens on both sides, on the extreme left and the extreme right.
Like get blackballed in an industry, though.
Yeah, the blackball thing does not occur on the opposite.
But we can
way.
all agree both agree that the echo chamber exists on both sides. It's just what level of punishment happens as you're talking about blackballing.
Look, who has control of entertainment media? Who? What side?
Liberals.
So that's what
the liberals
shows you
do.
that they have the power to silence the other side, and the other side doesn't even have that power. I don't even know why the right isn't actively trying to make entertainment companies that they can have a mouthpiece themselves. It's like, why the left is the only ones who figured that out. It's probably because they're more emotional and they like art and they like music and the right is a little bit more institutional and like religious and like part of something as a child maybe, and like the left is like just like I said, they're moving to all the major cities and they're the tastemakers in a lot of ways, and it's just bizarre. And I get why they all feel the left wing, because they're a part of big multinational corporations, own them and own left-wing media, and they want as strong of a central government, a federal government as they can get, so they can only have to deal with one person and not 50 different governors. So that's
again that goes both ways. There are several conservative people that own multinational corporations that dump billions of dollars into the lobbying system to try to influence the way Congress votes.
Yeah, but
so there's a power structure. Man. There is a power structure.
They're not real Republicans, also. Man. They're just not.
They're not.
They're the uniparty. That's what I call them. The Democrats and the Republicans in Congress, they're all the same party. They sit there and wait for lobbyists to give them a new law, and they're either going to support it or not. And then they get to position themselves and their families based on that law coming into play in 9 months or a year, and they make their money that way. It's just like both sides do not care about any ideology other than their freaking bank account.
Chris, there is another thing you have found that we both agree on.
The
two-party system is broken.
Said. Yes.
And it's broken by the amount of lobbyist money that's being dumped into it. So there's something we agree on right here.
Well, the smaller the government, the less the spoils that can be split up by lobbyists. So it's like, that's why I'm like small government, right wing, bigger government, left wing. And I want to give them less money. So I want to cut taxes, give them less money, cut their allowance. And so they have to cut services and become a smaller government. That's
do you think though, let me ask about what's going on right now. Do you think a small, by the way, I agree with you about smaller government, but do you think a smaller government would have been able to handle this pandemic better?
Yeah, I think you would actually know who the hell is in charge. So like if it just, the governor should be in charge of their state. Bottom line, federal government should only be dealing with threats outside of our country and maybe dealing with interstate disputes. And that's it. And they sit back and they let the states do what they do. And then, so like I said, in middle of March, when everybody came back from Europe at the same time, because they're all freaked out that they wouldn't get back in, even though Trump said, all citizens are allowed in, they should have staggered those flights and not had everyone packed like sardines. And that would have been a mayor thing. A mayor would have to go to his local airport and say, hey guys, we can only have X amount of flights coming in every 6 hours. No mayors did that. So it's like, you can't have this one guy in Washington, D.C. deciding for the entire country. You have to have more decentralized control, or you will get it into big trouble. You can't have
which is
one
ultimately
guy
smaller government. That's smaller government. Right.
And smaller government just means smaller federal government, and more role for the governors, more roles for the mayors. And so like people have to have more self-responsibility. You cannot just look at the federal government and say, your fault. You did this. You murdered everyone. It's like, that is just childish crap. It's the dumbest thing. And that's what a lot of liberals are out there. Trump is responsible for 90,000 deaths. It's like, so did Obama, was he responsible for the 250,000 flu deaths over the term of his 8 years? It's like, that's the dumbest stuff. It's just ridiculous. So there has to be more self-accountability from the local level, up to the governor's level. It's like, that needs to happen much more than this federal response crap. Because the more you have the federal government decide for you, the more power you're giving them for everything else. So you don't want that.
It's funny that people don't usually pay attention to local elections either, where they're like, oh, well, my vote doesn't count. but it's like maybe in the presidential vote, it doesn't really, but also the president doesn't directly affect you that much, where it's like you're selecting.
Locals way more, man. Local affects you way more than the federal government will tax you or not tax you.
You should.
I know I should, but
you should.
Don't.
Josh, you don't even vote.
Oh,
you're one of those people who thinks that no matter what you do, your vote doesn't count. So I can't even believe you're commenting on this. You don't even.
I work in radio, so I can't say I'm a registered Republican.
Did you guys see the back and forth between Christopher Titus and I? Did you see that?
No.
The comedian, that Titus guy?
What happened?
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh. His daughter needs to do her math. Do your math.
Dude, I've never seen someone shill for like the left so much than that Christopher Titus guy. It's like saying stuff that was debunked months ago as far as the Russia thing, which now has zero evidence, not even evidence that the Russians hacked the DNC. The CrowdStrike, they're all saying, oh yeah, there's proof and everything. And then the CrowdStrike CEO goes, we have no proof. And then all the Obama admin people who were saying on the media, Trump is a Russian agent, Trump is a Russian agent, putting that into the heads, brainwashing that into the heads of a lot of Americans. Now those same people, their transcripts of the stuff they were doing in 2017 behind closed doors in front of Congress, they were just the exact opposite. We have no evidence of any of this. And that we literally, they used leaks to brainwash the United States into thinking there was this Trump-Russia thing. And now we know it's complete bull, but the effects are still there. It's like people don't want to admit that they got conned. They don't want to admit that they believed so easily, and then it was completely proven wrong. Like they won't accept that they are easily brainwashed. They just won't accept it. And
I think the way we ended the last podcast we were on, we all agree. I mean, right or left, we all agree that there is so much fraud and bullshit on both sides, and both sides brainwash the fuck out of us when it's good for them. If someone's taking lobbyist money, what are they doing? They're taking money for their interests, not our interests, and that's a problem. That is a problem.
The right didn't make up a conspiracy about the left and then put it on mass media, mainstream media for 3 years straight. The right's never done that.
That's because there's a Republican
that's because there's a certificate thing for
there's
Obama?
A Republican president. When there's a Democratic president,
the
Republicans
people are tweeting about that. No mainstream media ran with that birther thing.
What are you talking about? It lasted through his entire presidency.
What mainstream media channel really pushed that?
All of them pushed it.
MSNBC, CNN, ABC,
yeah, they all
CBS.
talked about the birth certificate thing for like 7 of the 8 years of his presidency.
But were they doing it?
That was a constant
I never
story
saw
that
mainstream media.
Were they reporting it or were they supporting
every day?
it? But were they reporting it or supporting it?
That's were they saying, look at these idiots?
Isn't that the same thing? Reporting it is supporting it.
Well, no, it's not.
Again,
it is absolutely. You're giving it credibility by talking.
If you're reporting about Nazis, you're supporting them.
No, it's supporting the story.
But there's one thing to talk about reading a story and then backing it up with a bunch of facts.
Were they saying that Obama truly was not born in a U.S. territory, or at least
no? They're giving validity to the story that was you report on the story. You give it attention.
I've never seen that, dude. So I'll have to look at Google.
I saw it almost like every day in the news.
All right, so you're equating
something that kept popping up about
thing?
Obama's birth certificate thing. So there's conspiracies made up on the right and the left.
Are you saying that the birther thing is the same as the Russia-Trump collusion story that Mueller did a whole freaking investigative thing on and then found it was all bullshit that they made up?
Absolutely. Because they also found out that was all bullshit.
Okay. I just can't get down with it. It's the same exact level. I just like literally even guys in our Senate, Richard Burr as a Republican, he was part of the leaking leaking the FISA app saying, oh look, one of Trump's guys is under, dealing with Russians and now is under investigation and has all this whole thing. It was leaked to the media big time. All those leaks, even that's what I'm saying. The Republicans were a part of it too. They wanted to get rid of Trump too because Trump was in there who totally screwed up their money-making scheme. Like there was
the same guy, and he's
there was
kind
stacks.
Of floater.
There were stacks of paper that were laws that were written by lobbyists expecting Clinton to win. And as soon as Trump won, all that went into storage rooms and everyone was pissed because they weren't going to be able to make their lobbyist money. So that's why they want Trump out of there. It's the only reason. He screwed up their piggy bank. That's it. So money talks, and it means a lot to people. And Trump got in there and screwed that up for him.
Back to Trapt on Tony Hawk. Can we get that song on that game? Come on now.
Yeah, right.
So you're telling me when we started this with this whole thing, that song was never even supposed to be on there. This fuck just made it up and it went out there.
I know. It's awesome. It's hilarious.
It was never. You were never even a consideration for that game.
I think the best trolling would be Tony Hawk actually putting it on the game.
Oh my God! That's why I tagged him. Like he's gonna pay attention to my stupid ass. But can you imagine if he's like, "Fuck it, I'll talk about it." That would be amazing.
Right.
Tony
a lot of people don't know, but that's a really valuable platform for songs.
Oh my God!
Video games.
Yeah, it's
huge.
It's almost as big as any kind of radio or online platform. You get on a video game soundtrack. I mean, back me up here, Chris. That's a good placement, right?
That's forever.
Yeah. I don't know what, I don't know if it's like the game makes it a hit or the songs make the game a hit, but I think it's more the games make a song a hit. But
Yeah.
it's just cool to have your stuff in those. And I want to say right here, I get into it with a few, with one guy in particular. Like these guys they play games for a living, and then they have like a bunch of followers, and they talk while they're playing the video games and all that stuff. And the guy trolled me to try to get me to give him attention, the whole thing. And so I went back and forth with him. So basically, I went with the insult nerd, which is like douchebag or moron, very very low level insult. And but in that, have you ever hung out with people who like just are annoyingly obnoxious as far as like the things they think are funny and they laugh like they're nerds, and you're just like they irk you, with how unsocial and just how immature they are. So when I get that sense, I go, you're a total nerd. You're a total nerd. And so people thought I say gamers are nerds, and that's not true. Not all gamers are nerds, and not all nerds.
Oh wait, was
gamers.
it another thing picked up off Twitter and blown out of proportion? No.
Yes.
No,
right?
fuck. I've never heard of such a thing on Twitter.
What's so funny? Like over the next year, there's going to be so much more, which is great.
Oh my God.
People are bored.
Constant entertainment.
But
my God.
Going back to what you were saying, Shu, like having a song on one of those platforms, a lot of songs that I love to this day, like I started listening to because of the NHL games, like NHL 04.
Right.
I have a playlist on Spotify called NHL 04.
Oh, nice.
Because I loved that whole
and not just new songs either, but classic rock songs have had a resurgence. Because they've been stuck on Rock Band or Guitar Player or GTA or something like that. So a lot of the classic rock songs have had a resurgence. At the time, you want to say like early 2000s, mid 2000s, it was just as effective as getting your song on the radio, because video games are so huge and they're shared worldwide. And it's just an excellent platform. The band, Dragon Force. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Dragon Force. They're like a kind of a prog metal band.
Yeah, I've heard of
but they had a couple of songs on video games. That's kind of how they really got their success, as people discovered their music playing video games. So we joke that
and like Jimmy Eat World and all those bands and
video games. No shit. Yep.
Yeah.
I went after like the people who watch other people play video games. So I was like, just ripping on. If someone rips on me, it's just Twitter. It should be fun. Should be fun. People call me a bully, but I just if someone comes at me with a certain energy, I always respond with the same energy and try to be as witty as I can be.
Like a comedian.
Look at
heckler.
Yeah, look at everything about them. Look at their
You fucking picked on me first.
See where I can dig at them, right? So it's like this whole thing of like there's people that, and my girl and I, we make fun of the kids a little bit because they watch other people play too. It's like, what is this whole thing with kids watching people play video games?
I don't get that.
Like, so that became a big deal. And the funny thing is that our guitar player does that. So I totally ripped on all those people, and then my guitar player got really mad about it because he does that too. And I'm like, so the next day I was like, oh well, if you're gonna watch people play video games, then watch Brendan.
Let's bring it back to the band, and boom, Check out the new
Well,
single.
it is like, I mean, they're watching the video games for many different reasons. Some watch it for entertainment, and some watch it to kind of get tips to see if they can get farther along. You can't deny, though, guys like Dr. Lupo and all those other guys who are on streaming while they play, and that's all they do for a living.
They make a shitload of money.
Make $250,000. Like Dr. Lupo is something like $250,000 to $300,000 a month.
What?
And that's all he does. We talked to him. He gets up at 10 in the. He gets up early, gets his kids to school. 10 in the morning, he takes care of any kind of errands or household things he's got to do. 11 o'clock every day, he's on there playing video games for like 8 hours.
Wow.
He takes breaks in the middle. And millions of people watch him, and he makes a ton of money. I agree. I'd rather not watch someone play a video game, but to some people, it's actually like watching football. Watching sports.
But you know what? It's like to me, it's watching someone watch sports.
I'm gonna watch
you know what I mean?
It's like a good way of putting it. Yeah.
It's like watching instead of like watching someone make food, it's watching them eat the food.
Oh yeah, then there's that too. What are they called?
I think there are sites where you can pay people to eat food in front of you. It's just bizarre.
Those people make a ton of money too. There's a Korean woman who makes like $1,000 a week, and you go on there and she has a whole thing of food in front of her, and people like on the live stream tell her how they want to eat something. Slurp your noodles, shove the whole thing in your mouth, and they pay for it. And she makes like $1,000 a week.
That's like
everything we're talking about, there's a porn thing of that too.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, wait, what happened? It goes from a porn webcam
play
to
a video game is like watching someone watch porn.
What the fuck? What are we doing? Here's what
that is. I mean, that is porn, isn't it? It's watching people.
It is, especially if you're yelling at her, "Slurp your noodles, bitch! Slurp your noodles."
But there should be somebody watching someone watch porn, so you can see their facial expressions when the money shot happens, or maybe there's a glory hole. There's a glory hole situation.
I am not in that market for sure.
You see what it's like. The two girls, the 2 girls, 1 cup. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Remember 2 girls, 1 cup?
I've never seen the video, but I've seen all the reaction videos.
So that's what I'm saying, right? Everybody watched the reaction videos.
I watched it one time and I was fucking sorry. I was like, oh, okay.
That's the closest I can see. Is
here's
like
the thing.
people
Think
watching,
about
people watching.
All these things we just talked about. Trapped Headstrong should be the fucking song in the Slurp the Noodles, bitch. In the 2 cup, 1 cup, whatever the fuck. I mean, come on. Man.
Slurp the Noodles, bitch is a good band name too.
Put it everywhere.
Can you do a side project, Chris, called Slurp the Noodles, bitch?
Sure, man. Why not?
Okay, fuck, let's go. Slurp the Noodles, bitch.
Yeah, latch onto those YouTube streams, man.
Listen, this will be the clickbait. This will be the clickbait somebody picks up from this podcast. Chris Taylor Brown from Trapt says he's starting a new band, Slurp the Noodles, bitch. Run with it.
Now, me and Mike Shue,
Slurp my noodles.
Well, right? Yes.
Slurp my noodles.
You know what this is gonna? No, Isaiah. You know what this is gonna be? It's gonna be Chris Taylor Brown says Trapt is doing music for porn exclusively.
Yeah,
done. That's what it's gonna come out of this.
It's because of all the inspiration growing up, hearing those amazing backgrounds to like Ron Jeremy movies, and Caught from Behind. It's the music. The music is just it brings you back to a time where you're newly discovering yourself. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
And Josh is gonna.
Huh?
I was gonna say Josh is gonna edit the shit out of this to just take that one little clip and push it out there and see what happens.
It's gonna end up Trapt is doing VR porn.
Chris said he hates his guitar player and he's doing porn. Wait, what?
Get those goggles on.
Now speaking of slurp your noodles, bitch.
Slurp my noodles, bitch.
My noodles. Yeah. Sorry.
Mine.
I've always been curious about like stories behind band names. How did Trapt get its name?
I think I just felt like that when I was, 16. I was definitely the kid who felt like I should be able to do anything an adult can do. Yeah. So it's like the life I live now is pretty similar to the life I lived when I was 16 and 17.
You're still trapped. Now you're trapped in Twitter.
Yeah. But it's just, I think, it's just the whole society, you against society as a kid, as a teenager, kind of feels like that. And then the name evolved into just how you limit yourself. It's like you're your own worst enemy most of the time. It's not society that's screwing you over. It's you. So, it started with the whole me against the world thing, and then you know, a lot of it's now evolved in me against myself, and a little bit of me against the world still in there. But
I think we all feel, all of us feel like that in the rock world. Rock's always been the fucking redheaded stepchild. All of us came together in the rock world for almost the same reasons.
Away though.
Never
goes away.
Never.
Like new wave.
I just turned 50 and I still feel like I'm trapped in some senses, and I've caused most of the traffic. It fucking happens.
You're 50?
Yeah.
Do you know what
Fuck
Tony
you.
Hawk Pro Skater is? I don't.
Fuck you. Slurp my noodles, you
So
fuck.
Chris, I want to ask you about the spelling. So what about the spelling of Trapt?
Just the two T's on either side look better.
Right.
Trapped looks stupid.
You know what?
Two
I'm glad
T's.
it's that, and it's not like, well, the Pythagorean theory says that when things are aligned in a
on a
certain,
poster.
it's the
It just looks
original
better.
Latin Roman spelling.
That's why Stain dropped the E.
right.
It's better.
It just looked cooler, right?
I got really
No,
fucking high.
I didn't even know it was spelt wrong. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy fuck, that's not how you spell trapped, really, Josh? Oh,
I don't.
A lot of people think that that's how you spell trap. So I don't know if I had anything to do with that, but
we should
a lot of
have a
people
spelling
spell-
bee. Let's have a spelling bee on Twitter and see who fucking fails.
How do you spell stocks?
it needs to be a big penalty.
SOX.
Talk about. Obviously, you got the new record and the singles are moving. What's happening in that world with the new material with Trapt?
Great, man. We just dropped a couple songs on Spotify, and they're killing it. It's hard to make a song that gets the streaming numbers of Headstrong. Maybe it might take a little while, but as far as like Echo or Still Frame or Who's Going Home Tonight or Contagious, like they popped it right up there alongside all that stuff. So that's all we can expect from Spotify. Like we know we're not going to get on all the cool hip playlists, and because those people are hardcore liberals and they probably hate what I say. But as long as the algorithms get to do their thing, we're good.
Oh wait, we have a guest in the background. Who is that?
Oh, that's Kellen.
What's up? Hello. Like, hey, Dad, I want to watch video games. Can you stop talking at your phone? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I got stuff to do,
All right.
Daddy.
Let's wrap this up. Chris has got to wrangle his kids.
Thanks,
Chris,
brother. Thanks for coming back on.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you coming on again.
Yeah, I always appreciate it. It's always a good time.
Looking
man,
forward
thank
to
you.
the show in Laconia.
Till the next Twitter beef, huh?
That's
Yes.
right, man. Next Twitter beef. We'll talk to you then.
Twitter.
Maybe I'll get into it with Trump one day.
Dude, hey,
Good
can you
luck.
get
Listen to me, buddy.
can you get Trump on the show? Let's go.
I'll try.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
guys.
Thanks a lot,
Take
Chris.
care.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey,
Right, see you, man. Also, do you want to do the voicemails? I got that to work.
Oh, really? I think you're
Yeah.
a liar.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Let's
You didn't get
test
the
it right now.
voicemails to work. Bullshit.
What? Hold on.
Fucking, I got a big microphone now. I got the voicemails to work. Who fucking called you, Dad? I mean, come on. This is bullshit.
Hey, his dad's pretty funny. In all
I
fairness,
like Jim.
Josh's dad is great. He's a great
I like
sense of
Jim. I
humor.
like Sandy. I like his brother.
Jimmy
and sister.
Donuts.
Jimmy. I did a house party chat with his brother and sister and Josh,
did?
and they're fucking awesome kids.
That app scares me because you open it and then people just start joining, and
all of a sudden you open it, it's like, what?
Yeah.
So, Josh,
Josh,
these are your younger brother and sister?
yes.
Yeah.
And how old are they?
16.
they're awesome.
And Isaiah, you just turned 50 and you were on a house party chat with a bunch of 16-year-olds?
New headline.
It's weird. I can't hear you. It broke up a little
We
bit.
just
What?
lost all our sponsors. Just lost them.
Chris is on HGTV now. We can't deal with this.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck off. Are you going to play the voicemails or not, Dolan?
Yes. All right. We got one of our sponsors actually.
Hold on. First of all, tell people what this new feature is.
All right. So it's voicemail. You can get it. It's like the again, I forget the Maddie and Nick one or the Hill Mail.
The GFY hotline.
GFY, right. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't remember that.
How do I get to it?
You go to breakingtheicepodcast.com and there's is it on the contact page? I should have written this.
God, I hope
Jesus
so.
fucking Christ. What would your overnight show
this
sounded
is-
like?
This
Wow.
really, this is just. I'm
Dude,
just gonna pay my bills while I wait for this
They
to
were
happen.
going to have Josh Dolan do overnights on
Yes.
WAAF, and this is what it would have sounded like.
Shut up. Go to breakingtheicepodcast.com, go to
Right.
contact, and a
Okay.
little thing drops down and it says leave a voice message. You click on that,
Okay.
and then it's like calling us.
Wow,
Leave
you'd be a fucking
That was a great
awesome radio
sell.
host.
Thank
So
you.
good.
That was a great
so
sell.
good. Oh, God. Oh,
All right.
Jesus.
Here's Nicole from Invoke Media.
Hey guys,
Can you hear that?
Yes.
All right. So
it stopped.
hey guys, it's Nicole. I am really loving the show. Really happy to be a part of this, and wanted to give a shout out. I also want to clarify, if you ever mention shaved pussies and sponsors in the same sentence, I will start putting out small dick pics and your photos. Bye.
Oh shit.
I don't.
Okay, first of all, thank you for mentioning that for us. Two, yeah, all my dick pics are small penis photos. So, seriously, what are you going to do?
I think Timmy Boomsauce has been editing a few of Isaiah with small dicks.
Oh my God, Timmy Boomsauce is the shit. Thank you to Nicole. Nicole at Invoke Media Group. She put our website together.
It looks awesome. Go there.
BreakingTheIcePodcast.com. All the episodes, all the sponsors. Go support our sponsors. You guys are going to start doing blogs. There's going to be all kinds of.
We have merch on there, and these have already started to sell.
Hey, can we sell these shirts? Would we get in trouble for selling these? Would George Lucas care?
Oh, probably not. I don't think
we'll probably get a letter.
We should trademark it before Disney does.
A letter.
Cease and desist in a pandemic. Fuck off.
Josh, I got to compliment you. Did you design the Treat Club T-shirts?
Yeah, it took a lot.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Josh, just to let everybody know who's not familiar, Josh hates the word treat. He gets. Look at, if you're watching the Zoom video now, he gets a visceral physical reaction when you say the word treat.
I'm talking about it.
You can take Josh out to lunch. You can take Josh out to lunch at, say, I don't know, the Capitol Grill, right? And then have the best steaks ever and cocktails. And then at the end of this awesome lunch, you could look at Josh and say, hey, my treat. And Josh will lose he'll probably stab you in the eye with a steak.
You know who uses that word so much? My wife. And she still uses the word.
Okay. We're getting to the roots. We're getting to the roots. This is good. Let it out, Josh. It's okay. She's not in the wrong.
It was an issue before, and I just haven't had the heart to tell her to knock it off. And also because
you don't have the fucking balls to tell her to knock it off.
Goodies.
You're fucking married, Isaiah. Don't talk out your ass.
I know, right? He's been hiding in the attic the whole time.
No, bullshit. If something drove me nuts like treat, I'd be like, I get hives when you say that. Can you not? All right, I love you. Next.
All right.
Well,
anyway,
the shirt's really nice. I knew it took a lot of fighting back urges to kill to design it and put it up on our merch page. But please, go check out the merch. It's some pretty great stuff on there.
And we have a couple new designs coming. We have a
BreakingTheIcePodcast.com. Right? What other voicemails you got?
The first we're doing some new sketches. So
oh dear. Okay.
Right?
Dude, he drinks fucking whiskey at night and draws things.
Hey Josh, I saw the cross in that fucking logo. Okay? So I know what you're trying to do here. Wow. I know you're part of that whole Knights Templar conspiracy. So cut the shit.
Fucker.
All right?
It's just, to make the Colton air happy. Here's our next message.
Ayer.
Josh, Shu, Isaiah. It's your faithful Patreon supporter and social media buddy, William Anderson here. Yeah. I know I've told you guys this a million times, but just wanted to put it in audio form, I guess. You guys kick ass. I love the show. Thanks for everything you're doing. Long live AAF. Keep doing what you do, boys.
That's awesome.
Will,
that's awesome.
Thanks a lot, Will. Yeah, Will's always like commenting on stuff too. He's an active participant. So you know what? If Will's a great example. He comments on everything, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all on that stuff. He shares things, but now he's using the voicemail. If you want to get involved in the show, do what Will does. Comment on our Facebook page or go to our leave us a message through BreakingTheIcePodcast.com and get involved.
If Will's made you angry, let us know.
Who cares? If you think we're total fucking assholes, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, we hear it from our wives every day.
Oh, God, yeah.
Hey, go up in the attic and do your little podcast.
I'll go in the other room. And then I'll go Instagram Live with Isaiah when we're drunk and then delete it.
Hey, we've taken some time off from that, but we can bring that back this weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Corinne from Amp Radio. That one had to be deleted.
Oh, that was fucking great.
Let's play the next message.
Yo, it's your girl Corinne from What? She's awesome. Their music is shit.
Hi, is this the job application line for Breaking the Ice? I'll submit a resume online, but I at least wanted to first tell you in person why I would be, maybe that co-host this show needs, that little something extra. I actually have a lot in common with you guys. I know good beer. I have great taste in music. I bitch about my family too. I'm not a fan of social distancing. Huge Boston sports nut. Oh, and I too got kicked out of the Bruins locker room. In fact, the only thing I don't have in common with you guys is that I have breasts, like female ones, not like man boobs. So, discuss it. And, if you're thinking you need some new flavor on the show, look me up. You can find me on Twitter, as in single Twitter Vicky. Thanks, guys.
This is what's going to happen when girls call the voicemail. Mike's going to take out his cock and rub it. Who was that? That was Vicky?
Yeah, Vicky.
That was single Twitter Vicky. She was a longtime contributor to Hill Mail on the former Hillman Morning Show, and I think she also contributes on the Greg Hill Show on WEI. But she's hilarious, and all that she said is true. She has excellent taste in beer. She always, when she would visit the studio, she would bring really great beer. She knows her stuff when it comes to beer, and she's really funny. So we should just have her on the show.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, she's great.
My wife.
Shout out to Vicky.
My wife is a fan of her voice.
Shout out to Vicky. Oh, she definitely could do phone porn.
Right.
Just saying.
I see.
People have to stop texting me during the show. More voicemails? Josh, you're doing a good job. Look proud here.
We can actually hear these. These are cool.
Yeah.
I know. I did a YouTube how-to.
That's fine. Dude, that's a wide open door I didn't go down right there. Oh,
I did that for making a baby. All right, what do we got next?
Oh, God, there was YouTube? All right, hold on. There we go.
Josh, Shu, Isaiah, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate everything you guys do. Look forward to my Thursday ride with you guys. You guys make my ride 10 times more cheddar than it has ever been.
Cheddar.
What's the cheddar thing?
So the orange cat, you remember the cats I said? I have an update on that too for you, Mike, but there were 4 of them. One was a little tiger, and that's the one that Lucia's like, should we keep it? And a friend of hers that she works with saw the picture and said, you got to name it Cheddar. And it stuck. So
But
at the end of
Cheddar.
the last podcast, Josh and I, once you were gone and everyone was gone, it was just Josh and I. So at that point, if you'd stuck around for that long and then 10 more minutes
we were
of this
recording, and we were like, you know what? Let's come up with a code word. If you're still listening.
you have to, on social media, you have to put Cheddar, and a bunch of people did. So they listened all the way to the end.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, dude, thanks for taking a ride with us, man. We appreciate that a lot.
Who was that?
Thank
What was
you.
that cat's name?
Ed.
Ed, thank you,
Thanks
brother.
a lot, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank
man.
you. Update on the cats. Check this out. So remember, I rescued 4. My wife and I rescued 4. Today, we got a picture, the mother and 2 more kittens under the porch.
The rest of the family.
Oh my God.
So I need to call.
Children.
Why don't you keep an eye on your cats instead of fucking the male cats tonight, you whore cat?
Whore
Wouldn't that
Cat.
take you-
Excellent band name.
Oh,
Hashtag murder hornets.
Yeah, that's
whore cat and slurp my noodles, bitch.
Horror Cat opening up for Trapt in Laconia, New Hampshire in October.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, I got to call Danielle Murback because she had said to me, she's like, if you do find the mother and the other ones, I got to get them. So Josh and I are going to go over there with a net.
Yeah.
Who's a net?
Funicello? He won't know who that is.
No, he will totally know. Are you kidding
Who's
me?
Rock Hudson? I was
know,
laughing.
Really? Oh, Josh.
Rock
Josh.
Hudson.
What?
On a side note here, we talked about the show Hollywood
Yeah.
on the last episode. I did watch it with the family. It was pretty good.
It's a rough one to watch with the family.
Well, my daughter.
Is it?
Hey, my daughter's got a smartphone. I'm sure she's seen worse.
She can handle it.
It's true.
Yeah, she's a well-educated girl.
She's your daughter.
Let me just say this. It's pretty good, but it's a fairy tale, man. It is such a fairy tale. We're talking about the 50s Hollywood, and there's no way a African-American woman is winning the Academy Award
That's
for
why
anything
it's so good.
at
It's
all.
rewriting history. It's
Right,
like,
that's
what
true.
could
It's
have
kind of like a Quentin Tarantino or Oliver Stone film where it totally rewrites history. I appreciated that. But Rock Hudson's like a main character. not the star, but the character in this thing, and you had no idea. You thought he was like a made-up movie star?
No,
Wow.
no. I know the name Rock Hudson, but I've never seen anything with Rock Hudson. But the first time I was like, Rock Hudson, that sounds familiar, was when we had Lenny on, and you were talking about Pacey.
Wow, we're done. How about another voicemail? Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, let's just go to a voicemail.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then you brought up Rock Hudson, and then when
Perry Mason.
I was
Perry
like, oh, that's the guy
Mason.
that might shoot.
All right, stop it.
Whatever.
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
That wasn't Rock Hudson, but still. All right.
And next, exactly. Just play another voicemail.
Rock Hudson. All right.
Stop it.
Don't.
Treat. Right
So,
here,
in
here.
conclusion, are you saying you liked the White Hollywood better, Shu?
No.
Clickbait. Shu likes White
just,
Hollywood.
You know what it was? It's. I understand it was a fairy tale and it liked to rewrite history. It seemed a little forced.
Yeah.
You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
It was.
Play the
It seemed a little
voicemail.
forced. You know what? You know what? Wait. You know what I'm
back
watching
then.
now? You got to watch The Great, about Catherine the Great. Not all of it's historically correct, but it's friggin' hilarious.
Is it like
so hilarious.
Alexander the Great with a woman?
Let me just say this. There's a lot of like 15th century sex scenes going on. There's a man raping a corpse, there's a lot of heads of people rolling around, and they throw a dog off a balcony with what might be the first parachute ever created. It's very interesting.
Okay, we're done. You know what's good if we're gonna say it? Trial by Media. Trial by Media is a good documentary. Watch that.
I lived that for 30 years, so I got to watch something else.
Okay. Voicemail.
Okay.
G'day, guys. Aussie Paul here. So I'll give you a call and say g'day. Mike Shu, Josh Dolan, and Isaiah. Here's an idea for your podcast. How about doing the top 20 revenge kill movies? Go.
Revenge kill.
I thought it was going to say revenge porn.
Aussie Paul, thanks for checking in. Aussie Paul went to breakingtheicepodcast.com, went to the contact page, and you can record us a voicemail and say whatever you want. So, top 20 revenge. What do you say?
Let's just do a top 3 real quick around the room here.
Revenge.
Yeah, revenge. Okay, I'll start. So, great revenge flick.
What was that Meryl Streep movie?
Deer Hunter?
No, what?
No, that wasn't a revenge.
The rabbit in the pot thing.
Oh, that wasn't Meryl Streep. That was
That was Meryl Streep, I thought.
No, that was Glenn Close.
Yeah, what was that movie called?
What was that called? Oh, that was great. That was like, I Won't Be Ignored, Dan.
With Michael Douglas, right?
Was it The Razor's Edge?
No.
No?
Oh, this is awful.
Yeah, that's going to bug me. But that's a good one. That's a good example.
Just Google Glenn Close.
Yeah, Michael Douglas got revenge in the end. Or something like Taken or John Wick. The John Wick movies are
I never saw
like great revenge movies.
What about Single White Female?
I didn't see that one.
Psycho like girl roommate and completely like, is obsessed with her and starts to just dress and act like her, and it's fucked up. I don't know what revenge it is, but ugh.
It wasn't really a revenge movie, but The Princess Bride and the story of Inigo Montoya. The man with the 6-fingered hand killed his father. He had practiced that speech since he was a kid. He made that sword specifically to kill that guy.
What was that actor's name? That actor was in that show,
Mandy Patinkin.
He's brilliant. He's on fucking that Showtime thing with boy, I'm really good with names, aren't I? Fuck.
Homeland.
Thank you.
Yes.
He's really fucking good. Yeah, and that speech is great. That's
a great revenge story in a movie that's not really a revenge movie.
What revenge movies are you thinking, Josh?
I'm having I was thinking Taken, the first one, not the other 7.
Revenge movies.
Revenge.
Oh, wait.
Miracle. We got back at the Russians.
I mean, hey, I'm with you on that one. How about this? Hold on. And Josh, you may not have seen this, but the first Friday the 13th, because the murderer is the mother.
Right. That's a good.
You fucking let Jason drown.
Right.
She fucking
That's a
killed
good
them all.
point. That's
we'll
an
have to
excellent
revisit
point.
this because I
Technically.
think of some.
The other ones were all Jason just being pissed. That was a revenge too.
You know what? We could blog about it at breakingtheicepodcast.com.
Yes. And then if you disagree with us, you can leave a message at
Yes.
breakingthepodcast.contact.
Please do.
So we had Nicole, we had Vicky,
the
we
rust
had William, we had Ed, we had Aussie Paul. Anybody else on the voicemails?
Are you writing these down or your memory?
No, I can fucking remember that, but I can't remember the Glenn Close revenge movie.
Oh,
The
you've
fuck
been
is
taking
wrong with
fish
you?
oil pills, or
It was
apple cider vinegar?
I take those every day for my heart.
Oh, I started because my heart started to hurt in this quarantine. We have one more.
That's from all the whiskey. Yeah, you got to look it up, Mike. That's
Fatal Attraction.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. That's a fucking revenge movie. Yikes!
The movie
Thank you,
I've
Mike.
seen with her is 101 Dalmatians. Oh, and 102 Dalmatians. Sorry.
Those were revenge movies. Yeah.
Oh, they were. The dogs get back. All right, and then
remember the movie we talked about a bunch of podcasts ago. The one again, Falling Down.
I don't know if that's a revenge movie.
Well, he's just revenge because society has pushed him, and he fucking pushes back on society.
All right, revenge on society. Right. But nobody did anything to him personally, like take his child or kill his dog. You know what I mean?
I feel like
but
that
I get what you're
traffic
saying,
scene
Isaiah. I get
cut
what
him
you're
off.
saying.
Something triggered him, and kind of like Josh when he hears treat.
Oh God.
The revenge story there is fast food restaurants shutting off breakfast at 10:30.
How dare you?
Yeah,
Exactly. It was 10:31.
Right. That's
like,
the revenge story right there. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? We've all been there.
Yeah.
Creed. Creed was revenge. Creed 2, because he fought the guy that killed his dad.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
That's a good one.
You can't go
Dude,
wrong.
Aussie
You could say
Paul,
what
you
Rocky
got us
was
going,
that?
buddy.
I know.
Was that Rocky 4? Was it Rocky 4 where Apollo Creed died?
Yes.
Because that's a
think
revenge
so.
movie.
Yep.
It is. God.
Revenge movies.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to throw up a blog with my list on there, and
I mean, look,
you know.
most horror films, if you think about Nightmare on Elm Street, they burned Freddy Krueger because he was a child molester in the neighborhood, and he came back in your dreams.
Yeah.
Most of those things, like Michael Myers, the Halloween movies, he's just fucking. I don't know if the revenge was because he saw someone fucking his sister when he was a kid. He was clearly mentally unstable, but all of that's revenge.
The end of Saving Private Ryan, when the guy they let go killed Tom Hanks, and then the guy that wouldn't see one. And,
well, that's a revenge story inside the movie.
Inside a movie,
Mandy, like the Princess Bride thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, Aussie Paul. Shout out to Aussie Paul. For
I know.
getting us
Look, we just
yapping
talked about Aussie Paul's call for like 20 minutes.
He knows how to set us
Paul.
off. He's been listening to us for a while.
And by the way, Aussie Paul's a great example. He comments on all of our stuff. Like you all who are still watching this thing, say the word cheddar, and then comment and share and like and leave voicemails. Have fun with this shit. The great part about this, and the great part about what WAAF was in radio, there were no boundaries here. There were no rules. We can do whatever we want to do. So have fun with it. Have fun.
Fuck, and I think we should have a cheddar shirt.
Oh, you got to make a cheddar shirt with my cat. Soon to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in.
Good idea.
Over his face. All right, we have one more.
Okay.
Gentlemen, it's your faithful Patreon supporter, William A. here. Just wanted to say I'm digging the new intro. Very AAF in nature. Nostalgia Avenue, man. I'm here for it. And, hey, hopefully if Josh can actually figure this thing out, we might be able to hear this on the podcast. You guys rock, man. Keep doing what you do.
Will.
That's Will checking in again.
Will, very good. Yeah, hey, that new intro is awesome, and thanks to our buddy Ryder for doing that for us, man. He's got the voice of God. He's awesome.
That's the keeping the AAF thing alive with the voice guy from AAF, and then this chuckle group of boneheads and the people that used to listen, and some of the sponsors. So it's really AAF without the music or the FCC.
And a little extra cheddar.
And a lot of extra cheddar.
Can we thank our sponsors at this point?
Oh, go, man.
Isaiah?
All of them. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Garage Doors Plus has been there since the beginning. Thank you. Invoke Media Group, who support us and did our website, breakingtheicepodcast.com. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Over there. The guys over at Boston Exterior Remodeling. You can find them on Instagram at Boston Exterior Remodeling, and they do great work. Also, the fine folks over at Pathfinder Tree Service LLC and our buddy Lucas Carr, who's been a supporter forever, and the folks, the veterans who make Wolfpack Coffee. Wolfpack Coffee, find them also on Instagram. There you go. Look for that logo on Instagram. They got a great motivational Instagram account. You can check them out there. But thanks to all those guys for and ladies for supporting us from the very beginning. We appreciate it, and we're actually still quite surprised you're still with us. So
I know.
Also,
so thank you so much.
All the people that are taking the time to go on Patreon and support us through Patreon for the extra bonus videos and everything we're doing. It's really cool. Really, really. It is shocking that people pay for this. Really shocking.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that
but
people
we appreciate
take the time out to leave messages and comment and share
and listen to this bullshit. What?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you more. You know, and whatever. It doesn't even have to be stuff we're talking about on the show. Like
give us ideas. Right.
Made that great suggestion about the top 20 revenge movies or something like that. You want to call in and stuff and promote a discussion? Yeah, love it. Do it.
Tell us what to talk about because we're running out of ideas.
Yeah, that's right.
I had none from the beginning. What?
Yeah, I guess.
So should I adopt Cheddar?
You should, and then we'll put an inspiration. We'll put Sarah McLachlan to the back of it, and you guys reuniting.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put it on our Breaking the Ice.
Yeah.
Those are fucking awful commercials. Stop it. Those are, like, this cat didn't get.
You got to
beat
do
death.
that, Josh.
All right, fine. So that's
Sarah
that's a
McLachlan's
yes.
people won't sue us because he's saving animals. So
Yes,
she'll go
I'm
along
saving
with it.
Also, we got
animals.
Trapt on our side, so.
Listen, we're rolling right now. Rolling. Trapt and Sarah
McLachlan is
McLachlan.
getting sick of us.
Can you imagine if we could get Sarah McLachlan and Chris from Trapt on? They would fucking eat each other alive.
Oh, that would be a fun one.
Somehow we need
somehow
we need to work on because Nickelback, the whole thing with the Nickelback thing last week. Some jock at KLOS, this girl sounded fucking awful too. She was interviewing one of the guys from Nickelback, and she's just trying to poke him about what supposedly was said from Phil about their band at Metallica. It got so far out of it made the news again, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, do any of you even listen to the thing?
Well, I've reached out to Nickelback's management
Great.
And their publicist. Haven't heard back from them yet. I sent a message to Metallica's management and haven't heard back from them yet, but I'll keep prodding him and poking him, and even if the story just goes away and nobody cares, it'll be fun to have somebody from either of those bands on. So
let's get Lars on from Metallica. My buddy Dewey is their stage. Yes, my buddy Dewey's their stage manager.
Well, then have him get Lars to call in. They got, they're promoting a new box set and a whiskey, so that would be great to come on here and promote both those things.
Like you text me at 2 a.m.
I will come at you.
You do at 2 a.m.
Well, just make sure you're wearing a mask.
Oh, socially distance, boys. Socially distance. All right,
guys. Good. So we got anything else going on?
I gotta pee.
Yeah,
I gotta.
That's
pee,
why
man.
I have to. I have to go too, because I gotta.
My
pee,
coffee
man.
is gone. Oh, hold on. My Wolfpack coffee.
Oh, there you go.
Do it.
It's
all right,
delicious.
Boys.
That's all vodka. All right.
Let's do it again. Oh.
All right. Thanks a lot for listening.
See?